Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Vega English. My name is David, and I'm really glad you're here with me again. Today is episode 2, and I thought I'd share something a bit more personal. You know, learning English isn't only about grammar or vocabulary. It's also about listening to real stories, real experiences. So, in this episode, I'm going to tell you about moving house. Yeah, my family and I just moved into a new place. And honestly, it's been quite a journey. So, let me take you through it. First, I'll tell you about the house itself, what it looks like, how it feels. Then I'll share about the moving process, the packing, the searching, the stress, all of that. And finally, I'll reflect a little bit about what it means to move, to start again, to create a new home. And just before I start, remember, this is Vega English. So as you listen, try to focus on the rhythm, the intonation, the way I connect my words. Even if you don't understand every single word, just stay with me, okay? Good. All right, so let's begin. So, our new house. Where should I begin? Well, when you move into a new place, there's this feeling of excitement mixed with a little bit of fear. Excitement because everything feels fresh, different, like a new chapter in life. And fear because, well, change is never easy, right? Our house, it's not huge. It's not a mansion or anything like that. And, let me explain. A mansion means a really big and expensive house, the kind of place rich people live in. So, yeah, it's not a mansion. But for us, it feels just right. It has enough rooms, enough space, enough light. And the best part, honestly, is the backyard. Oh man, the backyard is big. And just so you know, backyard means the space behind your house, usually with grass, flowers, maybe a small garden. So yeah, our backyard is big. It has grass, some flowers, and even a view of the hills. Every morning when I step outside, I see the hills, the sky, sometimes the birds flying around, and I just think, wow, this is beautiful. Now, let me describe the inside. The living room, pretty spacious. And when I say spacious, I mean it feels open, big. You can move around easily. It doesn't feel tight. When you walk in, you immediately feel like, yeah, you can breathe here. And for me, that's really important because I work from home and I spend a lot of time indoors. So having a big living room, a space where the kids can play, where guests can come over, it's something we really wanted. We also have a garage. A two-car garage, in fact. And a two-car garage just means it's big enough for two cars to park inside. But here's the funny thing. I'm not using it for cars right now. No, I'm actually using part of it as my office. Yeah, my little nook. And nook means like a small, cozy corner, a little hidden space inside a bigger area. That's my nook, my corner for working. Why? Well, because inside the house, with the kids and all the noise, it's just too much. You know, when I record podcasts like this, I need some peace and quiet. And the garage, surprisingly, gives me that. Sure, it's a little cold in the morning and sometimes hot in the afternoon, but I can manage. I just wear a sweater in the morning and I try to finish my recording before it gets too hot. So, that's my workspace now. A garage. Not fancy, not luxurious, not stylish, but functional. And functional means it works, it's practical, it does the job, even if it's not beautiful. And honestly, I kind of like it. I can hear birds outside, but no traffic, no loud neighbors. It's perfect for recording. Now, the area itself. We used to live in San Diego County, but now we're in Riverside County. It's still Southern California, so the weather is pretty similar, warm, sunny, but the vibe is a little different. It's more residential here, quieter. The street we live on is not a busy street. It's the kind of street where only the people who live here drive through. So there's almost no traffic. And that is amazing. Because when you have kids, when you want safety, when you just want peace, that makes a huge difference. When I walk outside, I see flowers, trees, a big grassy field across the street. And grassy just means a place that's covered with grass. You know, full of green grass. Sometimes I feel like, wow, I'm living in a postcard. And what I mean is, it's so beautiful, so perfect, that it looks like one of those pictures you see on a postcard. The kind you send when you're traveling, you know? The view feels unreal, like I'm inside a picture. And at night, it's quiet, very quiet. And that's something I'm thankful for. I know some people prefer the city, the energy, the noise, the restaurants nearby, and yeah, I get that. But for us, at this moment in our lives, this is exactly what we wanted. A safe, quiet neighborhood where the kids can run, play, grow. Okay. So let me tell you about the moving process, because wow, moving is never easy. First, we had to look for houses, and if you've ever done that, you know how stressful it can be. You go on websites, you scroll through endless listings. Some are way too expensive, some are too small. Some look nice in pictures, but when you visit, they're terrible. Yeah, we went through that. Luckily, though, we found this house pretty fast. We contacted the owner directly, toured the house, and honestly, we fell in love with it. And just so you know, toured the house means we went inside, walked around, checked each room, basically visited the house before deciding to rent it. The owner was nice. She checked our applications, our credit scores, all the usual stuff. And a credit score is your financial reputation, a number that shows how good you are at paying bills and managing debt. So yeah, she checked that. And finally, she said, "Okay, the place is yours." And wow, we were so thankful. It was the only house we actually toured. First one, last one, just like that. But of course, after that, the real work began. Packing. Oh man, packing is stressful. You think you don't have much stuff, but then you start packing, and suddenly you realize you have way too many things. And stuff is just an informal word we use for things, all your belongings, big or small. Boxes and boxes and boxes. And even though we didn't own much furniture, it still took forever to organize everything. We hired a moving company. Honestly, that was worth it. Even though we didn't have much, the bed alone was too much for us to move. And those movers, they were great. They disassembled the bed, carried it, and then reassembled it here in the new house. Disassembled means they took it apart into pieces and then put it back together again. Super convenient. But here's the catch. And here's the catch means here is the problem, or here is the downside. Since we didn't bring furniture from our previous place, we had to buy everything new. Yeah, couches, tables, chairs, shelves, everything. And let me tell you, that's not cheap. Our budget was already tight, and now buying all this furniture, it's tough. But hey, it's an investment. Once you have it, you can use it for years. So yeah, we'll survive. So, after moving in, we faced another big challenge. Furniture. Like I said before, we didn't really bring anything with us. That meant we had to buy couches, tables, chairs, shelves, basically everything. And you can imagine how expensive that is. Our budget was already tight, and suddenly all this money had to go to furniture. So, what we decided to do was just buy the bare minimum. And bare minimum means only the essentials, only what you really need to survive. For example, a bed, a table, a couple of chairs. Not luxury items, not decoration, just the basics. Later, maybe we can add more things. But at the beginning, it was just the bare minimum. And of course, when you buy new furniture, you often have to assemble it. Assemble means to build it, to put all the pieces together. And to be honest, I don't love doing that. I have back problems, and it's hard for me to bend down for a long time. So my wife helped a lot, and even a friend came over to help. We all assembled the furniture together. It's not easy, it takes time, but when you finish, it feels good. It feels rewarding. And rewarding means satisfying. Like you feel proud because you achieved something. You look at the finished table or bed and you think, yeah, I did that. But furniture was not the only thing. We also had to set up all the utilities. And utilities are the basic services for a house: gas, electricity, water, internet, trash removal. You can't really live without them. Setting them up wasn't easy because you have to call different companies, fill out forms, sometimes wait on hold forever. It's stressful, but you have to do it. And of course, utilities are not free. They are extra bills on top of the rent. So, we had to adjust our budget again. All of that together, the furniture, the assembling, the utilities, made the moving process really tiring. But at the same time, it was exciting, because every step, even if it was difficult, was one step closer to having our own place. So, yeah, as you can imagine, moving into a new house was not easy. We had to buy furniture, set up utilities, spend a lot of money. And honestly, it forced us to live on a strict budget. And strict budget means we had to be very careful with every dollar. Only spend on what was necessary, nothing extra. No fancy dinners, no shopping for fun, just the basics. And sometimes, when you live like that, you have to make a sacrifice. Sacrifice means giving up something you like or want in order to get something more important. For example, we sacrificed some comforts, like eating out, so that we could save money for furniture. That's what sacrifice looks like. But we don't see this as only a negative thing. We see it as an investment. An investment means something you put money, time, or energy into, because it will give you benefits in the future. Buying furniture is expensive, yes, but it's an investment, because we will use it for years, and it will make our life more comfortable. Of course, there are moments when we feel tired, stressed, or even worried. But we also have faith. And faith means trust, Belief, in our case, belief that everything will be okay, that we will manage, that God will provide. Faith helps us stay calm when challenges come. So, even though it's been hard, really hard, we're also thankful. We're thankful we have this house, thankful we can raise our kids here, thankful for the safety and the space. And we're excited for the future. We don't know how long we will live here, but we're ready to make memories, to watch our kids grow, to enjoy this chapter of life. And that's what moving is really about. It's not just about boxes and furniture. It's about building a new life. It's about creating a home. All right, so that's the end of today's episode. Let me just quickly go over the new words we talked about, because I know it helps to hear them one more time. Remember, we said mansion is just a really big and expensive house, usually for rich people. Now, say it with me. Mansion, 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 mansion. Then there was backyard, which is simply the space behind your house, often with grass or flowers. Let's practice together. Backyard, 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 backyard. We also had spacious, meaning a place that feels big and open, with a lot of room to move around. Repeat after me. Spacious, 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 spacious. And then I mentioned a two-car garage. That's just a garage big enough for 2 cars. Say it with me. 2-car garage. 2-car garage. 2-car garage. A nook is a small, cozy corner in a bigger space. Let's repeat. Nook, 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 nook. Fancy means stylish or luxurious. Repeat after me. Fancy, 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 fancy. We also learned functional. Functional means useful, practical. It does the job even if it's not stylish. Say it together. Functional, 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 functional. We also talked about grassy, which means covered in green grass. Let's say it 4 times. Grassy, 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 grassy. And when I said I'm living in a postcard, that means the place is so beautiful it feels like a picture on a postcard, almost unreal. Say it with me. I'm living in a postcard. 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 When we talked about moving, we said toured the house. That means we visited, walked through the house to check it out. Say it with me. Toured the house. toured the house, toured the house, toured the house. We also mentioned credit score. That's your financial reputation, a number that shows how reliable you are with money. Okay, 4 times. Credit score, credit score, credit score, credit score. Then there was stuff. Super simple. It just means things. All right, repeat. Stuff, 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 stuff. And disassembled. That's when you take something apart into pieces. Say it now. Disassembled, 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 disassembled. Oh, and remember the phrase, "Here's the catch"? That means, here is the problem, or here's the downside. Okay, your turn. Here's the catch. Here's the catch. Here's the catch. Here's the catch. Later, we also said bare minimum. That means only the essentials, nothing extra. Repeat with me. Bare minimum, bare minimum, bare minimum, bare minimum. We practiced assemble, the opposite of disassemble, to build or put something together. Let's say it. Assemble, 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 assemble. And rewarding. That's the good feeling you get after finishing something difficult. Okay, together. Rewarding, 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 rewarding. Another important one was utilities. Those are basic services like water, gas, and electricity. Say it with me. Utilities, 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 utilities. Then we had strict budget. That means being very careful with money. Repeat. Strict budget, strict budget, strict budget, strict budget. And sacrifice. Giving up something you want in order to get something more important. Okay, let's say it. Sacrifice, 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 sacrifice. We also talked about investment. That's when you spend money, time, or energy now because it will give you benefits later. Repeat. Investment, 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 investment. And finally, faith. Faith means trust, belief, that things will work out even when life is hard. Let's finish with this one. Faith, 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 faith. Excellent! You did it! Thank you so much for listening today. I hope you enjoyed the story and practiced your English with me. Don't forget to come back for episode 3 with Vega English. I'll share another real-life story, more natural English, and, of course, more new words for you to learn. Take care. Keep practicing. And I'll see you next time on Vega English.
Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this video fun and interesting. If you haven't already, feel free to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our latest videos. Wishing you all an amazing day. Take care and see you next time.